Hi everyone, it's me, Sailor Moon here. It's me, Sailor Mercury, Sailor Quicksilver Amy here. And today we're going to talk about Deke Sailor Moon and the hate that the Sailor Moon followership gives it. A lot of folks in the Sailor Moon followership either have a love or hate kinship with Deke Sailor Moon under the grounds that it was skimmed. Like names being shifted, stead names and street names and strike names being shifted, and things like that. So they have this love and hate kinship with it due to those unlikenesses. Now, is it truly hate, or they only unlike it? I don't know. At the end of the day, Deke Sailor Moon was a Sailor Moon that a lot of folks grew up on. So I can't see why they would hate it. I don't understand why they would hate it. I mean, they let all those things get to them, though. And why they do, I don't know. Why they make a big deal about names being shifted, borrowed names being shifted out for other borrowed names, I don't know. They just only make a big deal out of it. They make a big deal that the Danish borrowed names were shifted out for Latin/Frenchish names, Hebrewish names, Spanish names, or, Blacklandish names. Names that English borrowed more names from those speeches than they did from Danish, but they like to make a big deal out of it. I truly don't understand why that is. Well, you got that. Well, you want to put some things in, because they also make a big deal about the skimming, too. About the fighting or the wrestling. And in Sailor Moon, it's not so much fighting, it's more striking. But not striking like striking blows, hitting blasts, And they make a big deal about the strike names being shifted. Because, yes, keep in mind that Deacon later on Pioneer or Pathseeker would shift the names of the strikes around. Make a big deal about street names and near names being shifted as well. Why they do, I don't know. Anything else you want to put in this? Well, Sailor Moon, you're right. These folks make a big deal about the first two things you bring up, being skimmed or cleaned or shifted. They also make a big deal about, little things being shifted, like, instead of us being slain, like in a Toei and the Viz one where we died when we fought the Dark Kingdom, we were taken or kidnapped by the Dark Kingdom. And they make a big deal about that. They also make a big deal about, about the show playing, or the speaking playing, or the word playing, or whatever. They behave as if the folks that were speaking for them didn't do it the way that they wanted it to be done, so they make a big deal about that. And then they go as far, to say that, oh, it wasn't what Naiko Takaguchi wanted. They forget that at that time, Disney flashed Deke, because Disney owned Deke at that time. They had freedoms, and they could do with it as they want, as long as they were staying in the land end of the deal at the time. And we all know that Toei took freedoms when they first did the first Rawlings show, which everybody else was offshooting from in some way. And some of them make a big deal about the songs. I know the songs that Deke made weren't the Toei songs, but they were still good songs. and why they made a big deal about the songs, I will never know. And they go on to say that Sailor Moon is unwatchable. It's not. It's the Deke Sailor Moon is hard to watch due to you can't get it on disc. Well, those are the thoughts of why folks hate the Deke Sailor Moon 4. As you know, we don't hate the Deke Sailor Moon. We think the Deke Sailor Moon was good. Anyway, that's all the time we got. Give us a like, share, and playlist. We'll see you later.